meditation. My name is Lori from Women's Health on the Go, where we offer telemedicine for women, which we can do lots of things. Talk about herpes, talk about menopause. We can do birth control pills, treat, basic vaginal infections and stuff. So if you need telemedicine, make sure you go to our website, womenshealthonthego.com, and make an appointment. And if not, make sure you sign up for our newsletter. You get this great little this little e-booklet for free. It just talks about ways to take care of ourselves, and there's a special new patient discount code there as well, so make sure that you get over there and sign up for that. But let's get into our conversation, and before I do, I want to just also say hello to Nancy. Welcome this evening. I hope all is well, and let's get started. All right, so meditation. The reason why I want to do this is, one, as most people, if you watch my shows, there's always a common theme here. We're always talking about how, we're talking about different medical conditions. We're talking about sometimes, well, this is caused by inflammation in the body, and about stress, and how the hormones in our body are supposed to help regulate our bodies when we're under stress, but sometimes when we keep being exposed to chronic stress, then we start getting medical conditions, which can also lead to inflammation. And, so I thought one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about is meditation, because meditation is, it's such a broad thing. There are so many different kinds of, there's so many different, I'm only going to talk about probably a handful of different kinds of meditations that are out there. But there are so many out there. And I didn't realize how much research is actually done on meditation. I've been meditating in various ways for years now. I'll find a way of meditation, and either, I always research, and I always, find out the best way to do it and stuff like that, and try it out. And sometimes I'll still go back and use that, or I'll use something different. I don't personally meditate the same way all the time. I'm sure that some people do, but I particularly don't, because it just depends on how I'm feeling, what I'm going on in my life, what do I want to get from meditation, which is one thing that I think everybody should kind of think about when they want to start doing meditation. But when I was preparing for this show, I'm like, I'm always about research. What research can we do to show people that this stuff actually works? And I was amazed at the amount of research that is done on meditation. Oh my goodness. Meditation has shown to help with depression. It's helped with anxiety. It's helped with stress, relieving stress. It is people who have problems sleeping, problems who have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. It's found to help with that. People who have cancer. That would be great. I think that we just got interrupted somehow. Hopefully we're still on here. If you're here with me still, please say hello, just so I know. Hopefully we're still going here. Anyway, with meditation, as I was saying, it helps also with people with irritable bowel syndrome. They did it. Thank you, Nancy, for letting me know we were back on. Irritable bowel syndrome. For the women with cancer, what they did is they actually had a group of women that did meditate versus not, and they found that the women who meditated with cancer actually had less stress, less anxiety. Their healing process through the whole process was good, compared to those who didn't. So, that was a really great research. There was one on menopause symptoms of hot flashes, mood swings, insomnia with women who are going through menopause. It helped with them. It decreases blood pressure, which is another great thing. It's also found to decrease stress-induced inflammation in the body, which again, as I will always say, inflammation in the body, stress, can cause lots of different problems, and that's why we always want to make sure that we're doing things to decrease that inflammation, decrease the stress, so our body can stay nice and healthy. And one awesome research that I found was actually at Harvard University, where they actually found that when people meditate, it actually physically makes changes in our brains. It rebuilds brain matter, and the areas are those areas that help heal the rest of the body. How amazing is that? I think that is amazing. The body always, every day, the body always amazes me of what we can do. And I think that we have so much more power over our bodies than we actually give ourselves credit to. And I'm hoping that we can definitely start seeing that with all these kind of fun things. I got so many topics that we're going to talk about in future shows. But how amazing is that? For meditation, they are finding that our brains are physically rebuilding healthy tissue, healthy matter to keep us healthy. I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty darn amazing. Absolutely, really, really amazing. It is shown to increase immune function, increase social interactions with other people. It's supposed to also been found to help increase compassion within us. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. There are so many research out there. I mean, I could just do, I think, a half an hour and just talk about all the different kind of research. So I don't really want to particularly do that. But the point is that meditation works. It does something to us on a physical level and a spiritual and a mental level. It works on our whole body, and we really need to start working our whole body together. You know, I'm a firm believer that we have our mind, of course, we have our body, but we also have a spirit within, and we really need to kind of bring them all together to keep us healthy. And I think meditation is one great way to kind of bring that all together. Now, the question is, what is meditation? Because to me, meditation, now this is my interpretation of meditation, because I think that meditation can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I mean, there are so many different types of meditation out there as well, and I think that for everybody it might mean something different to them. Now, I think so, probably just a little bit of everything almost on some level, but what I do believe is that one of the things that I try to do when I do meditation is I try to let go of everything outside of me. I'm still not going to be able to get rid of the chatter that goes on in our brains, but it's almost like recognizing if a thought comes, I just don't focus on it, I don't think about it anymore, I just kind of let it go. And it's all about, for me, you know, focusing and quieting my mind so that I can hear what my body and what my soul and my energy need to tell me. So that's what I kind of look at it as, you know, and I believe that when I do it and when I do it consistently, I feel happier, to be honest with you. I feel connected with everything within my body, and that's what I kind of think meditation is. I basically think, again, that for me, it's quieting my mind. It's quieting my mind, and I'm trying to focus on something so that I can. And sometimes it's music. Sometimes it's my third eye, which I'll talk about in one of the things. We'll talk about chakras. Sometimes it's me saying something over and over again, which is a different kind of meditation. But it's quieting my mind, my body, slowing down my breathing and everything, and focusing just on being here. Thoughts still come in, and I let them come in, but I also just let them go by. That's like some part of my visualization that I do. I have a river in front of me, and here comes the thought, and there goes the thought. So that's my interpretation of meditation. And I think that when you decide if you're going to do meditation, is really trying to just look it up, see the different stuff, what resonates with you, because We all are individual people, and that's the great thing about all of us, is that we're all individuals. We all have our own feelings, we have our own thoughts and everything, and what may work for me might not work for you. So hopefully that kind of makes sense in a roundabout way. Sometimes I think I babble, and I don't know if I think I'm going in a circle, if I'm making sense, but hopefully I'm making sense. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go over just a handful of different types of meditation, and then some other ones that, I think maybe that I have thought of or have done for myself, just to give you a little bit of an idea of the different types of meditation. Now, one thing that is, I think that society perceives meditation as I'm sitting in what we call lotus position. I kind of call it just Indian style sitting, and we've got a straight back, and we're doing this, and we're closing our eyes, and we're trying to kind of focus on everything. And there are certain types of meditation that's how it's done. For me, when I do that, it's very hard for me to sit Indian style. It's very hard for me to sit straight up with my back all the time. It's just, especially sometimes they suggest that you meditate for a long time. And I think that for you, when you decide to meditate, whether you decide to sit in the Indian style or the lotus position and stuff like that, but you can also just sit in a chair, or you can lay down. Now, sometimes they don't kind of recommend you to lay down because they don't want you to fall asleep, which can potentially happen. But you need to be comfortable, and you need to be relaxed, and your body relaxed as well, in order for you to let your mind go and kind of focus on that. So some of these are sitting positions. Me personally, this is just my personal, side thing, is, do what you feel is comfortable. Because for me, it's very hard for me to just sit on the floor in lotus position and just, go like this with my back completely straight, and not after a while go, oh my God, I can't even concentrate on my breath or anything like that because I'm really uncomfortable. So, but that would be like the Buddhist type, which is more of like a seated kind of position. It's focusing on the breath. It's, you're just sitting, you're trying to remain in the present moment. Identifying the surroundings, like, you have your surroundings and stuff like that, but really just trying to be in the moment now, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future. And, it's very just sitting there and focusing on the breath. There is transcendental, I know I'm probably going to say that wrong. The only thing that I have a problem with this type of meditation is that basically this is a meditation that is about to be, the state of enlightenment, to get inner calmness. And you're sitting in, in the lotus position, and you're doing an internal chant, which I think is perfectly fine. But when you go online and you read about this, they're always saying, well, you need to have, a professional, teach you, and it's very expensive. It's not cheap to actually try to do I remember one time I'm like, ooh, let me see about this. Let me get, into this. This seems like something that I could, possibly do. But you have to get trained by a professional, and they give you this mantra, which apparently is very secretive. They won't tell anybody what it is, and you've got to spend a lot of money to actually do it. But that is one type of meditation that you could do. To me, I almost think, a mantra is, depending on what's going on in my life, I've had very down times in my life, that's how I've gotten to be where I am today. And, sometimes, I would have there was a time in my life where I had a lot of low self-esteem, and maybe my mantra was, I am beautiful, and just keep saying, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, I am beautiful, and just keep repeating that to myself. So, and you'd have to kind of, think of your own mantra. So, Sandra says, welcome, Sandra. Sandra loves the lotus pose. I don't know how you do it. Kudos to you, but I know that you do a lot of yoga, which is awesome. Yoga is, I'm hoping one day to have a yoga teacher on. Maybe I can have you on, Sandra, to talk about the benefits of yoga. But that's great. And Donna, you say that you lie down and try to meditate and you fall asleep every time. I can understand that. That's happened to me, totally. Have you ever tried sitting, like in a chair? You know, if for me, when, Lotus I know is not really, it's very hard for me to do that, but sometimes I just sit. I even sometimes sit on my couch, and sit with my feet on the floor and my back as straight as I can, but I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that. Have you tried doing that? That may be a good idea to try that. Okay. Another type of meditation is the heart rhythm. So what that is they actually you're focusing on your breath, and you're also trying to regulate it with your heart rate. It's synchronizing the heartbeat and your breath at the same time. You do this one in what they call the royal posture, and the easiest way for me to see it is, the Egyptians, the pharaohs, they have those big statues, and they're just basically, they're just sitting there, just like they're sitting there, and they've got that pose, with their hands like on their laps. That is what they call the royal posture. So that's what they do that in there. And it's just kind of focusing on your breath and focusing on your heartbeat and kind of bringing them together. And, it's almost like, to me, it's almost like it's kind of distracting you from everything else. It's just like when you're focusing on your breath, you're focusing on the breath, and therefore you're not thinking of anything else because you're focusing on something. That kind of even actually reminds me of, I think I'm doing my insomnia show, talking about counting sheep. Sometimes when I when I have problems falling asleep, I count, because then it's distracting me from all those thoughts. It's almost like meditation is sort of like the same kind of concept, is that you're focusing on something else. So all the thoughts that go on in your brain are not there. Or when you have those type of meditations that here comes the thought, but I'm focusing on my breath, and there goes the thought. And it's just letting it keep flying by and not necessarily focusing on that thought. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the heart rhythm one is more like a downward kind of meditation. So there's that concept of, there is the like the Kundalini, which is all about the spirit and the flow with the universe. So that's like more of an upward meditation, where when you're doing this heart rhythm meditation, it's more of like a downward, because you're not really focusing on the energy of the universe and of your soul or anything like that, but it's more like you're focusing down on the physical plane, on your physical body. So, and that'll go right into the Kundalini, which is about it. Like, again, it's an upward. It's about the energy. It's about this, the spirit. So that's where we can briefly, because I don't want to go too much into chakras. I'm not quite sure if everybody knows what chakras are. There is the thought process that we have the 7 chakras in our body. There are people that believe that there's a heck of a lot more chakras, but they're like energy centers in our body. And they go basically, to our pelvic region, to actually like our third eye and the spirit. And each spot has different energies. Like our third eye is, our all-knowing, it's, connection to the spirit. Then we have our throat chakra, which is our speech. Then we have a heart chakra. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Your heart chakra, which has to do with your emotions and, love and all that. And then you just keep on going down. And when sometimes there's meditations, which I'm going to kind of talk about. I have so much to say sometimes. There are meditations that help balance your chakras. So your chakras are supposed to be spiraling in different ways. They also connect with certain colors, like your throat chakra is like blue, and then there's purple up here. There's red all the way down at the bottom. So they all resonate with a different color. They're supposed to be like spinning. There's apparently these like circles, and the energy should be going certain ways depending on the chakra. And so when you're doing these meditations, like the Kundalini and the Spirit, is you're making sure that these chakras are turning correctly and they're in balance, that they're balanced, not imbalanced, that they're balanced within each other. Hopefully that makes sense. So you're focusing on your breathing, and then you're also focusing on this energy force. So I have done this kind of meditation where I sit, and what I want to do is, especially when you're doing energy work, with the above, you want to make sure that you're grounded to the floor, because if you go up, you might be a little like flighty. I know that sounds a little weird or something like that, but all I can say is that I have done guided meditations where you get so, the only way I can say is like you get so high feeling and such a wonderful feeling that you almost don't want to come down. So you just want to make sure that you're grounded. So I used to do this visualization where the bottom of my feet, there's like strings that go right down into the ground. And usually what I do is I cut them, because I want to start a brand new, rooting myself down, and I get a new, I'm rooted then, new roots come in the bottom of my feet, and then I take the energy and I just kind of swirl it down around my body, and I push it down into the ground to get around any negativity or get anything out. And then I feel for the energy from the universe to come into me and go throughout my whole body. That is a really great meditation. If you can try to do things in your mind on your own, but then you can also get what we do is called guided meditations, which go to YouTube. I mean, YouTube has so many different kinds of meditations on there. Definitely, oh, good gosh, I thought I left, wait, I think I keep freezing up. So hopefully things are streaming okay. Hopefully everything's streaming okay. All right. Guided meditations. There's so many guided meditations out there. And what's great is that depending on what you want to work on, like if you want to work on a certain part of your body, or if you want to work with a certain emotion, like, you're trying to get rid of, anxiety or stress, there's guided meditations for that. If you're trying to, deal with the loss of a loved one, or you had a breakup or something like that, there are guided meditations for that. If you want to just, there are guided meditations for if you believe in past life regression, of going to another past life and resolving any issues that you had. You can do that. There are so many guided meditations out there, and that they're all really, really cool. For me, when you're doing guided meditation, for me, especially on YouTube, I usually just listen to the person for a little bit before I actually do the meditation, because sometimes if their voice doesn't resonate with you, you're not going to want to follow anything that they're guiding you to. So I think it's really important that you definitely listen to their voice a little bit, just for a little while. I have actually also done guided meditations for myself, meaning I took my iPhone, I did I had some music in the background, and I did guided meditation for myself. I took myself on a journey and did what I needed to do work on, because I read a book, and I really liked the meditation that they had going in there, but they didn't have a actual recording of it or anything like that. And I'm like, I'm just going to record this myself. So I wrote everything out, and then I just recorded my own meditation, and I did it. I also did a nice soft voice and try to be slow and try to go with the flow that I know that I would. So that's another thing that you can do as well. There are lots of great books out there about meditation. Another meditation that I really want to talk about, which I think this was really cool. I personally have never done it, but I think that I may start doing it because it sounds really cool. So there's a concept of Qi, and that's along with like acupuncture, and which we're going to have a guest acupuncturist in a couple weeks, so I'm very excited about that. But Qi is energy flow that our body, there's energy flow of our body, and there's these meridians that the energy flows along certain meridians, and it's even like, then we can even get into reflexology, that if you push a certain part on your finger, that meridian is going to go all the way up to the certain body part, and when you're working on this, it's going to help that area as well. So the energy stuff. So even like in your feet, when you're doing reflexology, or you're even getting acupuncture, you're connecting with that meridian, that energy flow, and helping to get the flow moving, because sometimes we have blocks within that Qi. So there is a meditation, and I know I'm going to mutilate this name, Qigong. It's Qigonj. And to me, it seemed a little bit like Tai Chi. I'm sure people have heard of Tai Chi. Those are the people, they're standing and they're moving and they're doing all these kind of movements. And they're basically moving their Qi. And that's what this one as well. So it's focusing on your breath. It's focusing on your posture. It's trying to deal with relaxation. But it's also moving your energy and trying to clear your energy. And by doing these rhythmic movements, and you're doing it nice and slow, and you're focusing on your breath and these movements, it's another form of meditation, which I think I would definitely like to try. I think it would be really amazing. Because I definitely believe in energy. I definitely believe that we are energy beings. I believe that we are part of this universe. I think that we are all a part of one another. I wish we can all come together. I feel like the way that our society is going is that we're very individualistic people now and not a whole collection. And I think that we really need to get in that direction. But yes, Qi, the vital force of energy. Energy is part of us. And that type of meditation I think is really, really cool. And then there's mindfulness, which I think we kind of have talked about that in the essence that mindfulness is about you're focusing on something, your breath, a music, a song and the music. You're focusing on a mantra that you're saying. You're focusing on a spot, like your eyes are open, and sometimes people will light a candle and they'll gaze into the flame, and maybe they're saying at the same time I am beautiful, I am beautiful. It's being mindfulness and realizing too, like I said before, about your thoughts can come in, but just let them keep going. That is something that's really important, I think, in meditation. Because I think a lot of us, our brains are constantly going. They're going. And this is where we're constantly going. Our bodies are stressed. You have those hormones that I've talked about before, the cortisol levels and stuff. And we're constantly going. We're constantly exposing our bodies to stress. And we need to relax. We need to take time for ourselves, I believe, every day. When you look at a lot of meditations, some of them, I think they could be very intimidating to people. I think that when I first started thinking I wanted to start doing meditation, it was something that, oh my God, you want me to meditate for how long? And you want me to sit in this, to me, Indian-style position for that long? it was very intimidating to me. And it was almost like a turnoff. Like, I'm like thinking, I can't do this. You know, this is not the way that I can do this. And it kind of turned me off to begin with. And I hope that people can kind of learn that meditation is different for everyone. Not everyone can sit there for an hour and meditate. I do it 15 minutes in the morning. Could I be doing more? I wish I could, but I can't because of the way that my schedule is, because I'm also trying to exercise in the morning as well. But I try to dedicate 15 minutes in the morning to do this. I do it depending on where I am. I mean, I would love to go back to bed in the morning, but I typically try to do it sitting on my couch. And sometimes I can even sit Indian style on my couch because it's not a hard surface and it's just a little bit more relaxing for me. But I tried to find, after all the years that I've been doing meditating, I'm trying this one, trying that one, trying this one, I have just come to the realization that no matter what I do, it's going to be better than me not doing it at all. You know, if I just take that 15 minutes and do what I do, then I know that it's good for my body because it's what's resonating with me. What makes me feel better. It makes me happy. And for the most part, I'm a pretty healthy person. I don't know, is my brain being physically rebuilt so that I'm constantly making sure that I'm okay and healthy? I hope so. I really, really do. But I think that is the most, if anything, if you're going to take anything away from this show, I hope that you will be like, you know what? I'm going to try meditation. And even to me, if you just start off with 5 minutes a day, great. It's better than you not doing it at all. And do it how you feel comfortable doing it. You know, Donna, I totally understand. When you lie down, you fall asleep. I totally get that. But I don't know if you can do the lotus position. But great for you if you can. But if you can't, maybe just sitting down on your couch or on a chair. Do what you feel is comfortable, and try to do it for 5 minutes. And then I think it does become a little addicting because I do really like doing it and focusing on it. And you can add a little bit more, And I try to do. On Fridays, I try to do a 30-minute one. And that's where I actually, there's a thing called binaural beats, which is this music, and it's like this certain kind of, beat that goes into one ear and out the other, and it's supposed to, alter the change of your body. I do one that's a chakra. It balances all my chakras. And there is debatable research, I'm always looking for the research. There is debatable research of whether it helps the body or not. I personally feel something going on in my body, and that's all I need, and it makes me feel good. But then there's other times that I do, other times of the week that I only do 15 minutes. I can't always have 30 minutes. I should probably do 30 minutes. On the days that I can, because it's good for us. Meditation, research shows, there's boatloads of research out there, and it all says that meditation is very good and healthy, and actually not only helps our mentally, but it physically actually changes and rebuilds brain matter. That in that areas that it's rebuilding, it's physically changing our body to be healthy. I hope that all makes sense. Some other little things that can be ideas of meditating. I read an article one time about just imagining whatever world it is that's not here. That could be a form of meditation because you're not thinking about reality. You're not thinking about what's going on here. You're thinking about, I'm a princess in a castle, It doesn't matter what you're thinking. Just as if you're creating this whole different world that's completely not even here, and that you're quieting your mind in a way because you're not thinking about what's going on here in this physical world. So there's this great article about it. I wish I can find it. If I do, I'm going to put the link down up and above on here. It's a great, that's a really easy way to, if you don't want to sit and focus on your breath or something like that, I wouldn't mind being a princess in a castle, just totally imagining whatever it is that you want to do. I think another great kind of way to meditate and get your mind off is journaling, but not... There's a form of journaling that people can do that is just sitting down and just whatever pops in your brain, just start writing. And a lot of times it's not necessarily like, oh, well, today I woke up and the sun was shining and, I got to go grocery shopping. It's not that kind of journaling. It's just basically just letting your pen go and just going with it. And there's one lady that actually suggests, I think her name is Julia Cameron, The Artist's Way, or no, it's not. I forget her name, but she just says sitting down, and it creates creativity, just sitting down and journal just 3 pages a day. Just whatever pops in your brain, just go for it. Just write out whatever it is that you want to write. Again, we're not talking about your food shopping list, but that is a great way because your brain is just not even thinking. You're just going to town. I think sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just sit there and I just journal, and whatever comes out of me, it comes out of me. So, and another great thing to do is, this really doesn't have to do with meditation per se, but talking about music. Now, if you do meditate with some kind of music, which is fine, sometimes people like to focus on music. One type of music that is very, very, very awesome is music by Mozart. I think that man was an absolute genius, considering if you ever listen to, not everybody likes classical music. Not that I listen to classical music all the time, but Mozart has helped me so many times in my life, and I all owe it to a book. There's a book called The Mozart Effect, and it talks about how there's been research done, to show how Mozart's music, how it stimulates the brain, and how creativity, how it helps you learn, helps you concentrate. And when I was in college, I don't remember when exactly I read this book. This was actually when I was in grad school. I read the book and I'm like, all right, let me see if this stuff works. Because if I had to write a paper and I was stumbling and I didn't know what to write and I was lacking creativity, I would put Mozart in. Let me tell you something. I would slam out a book, bam, immediately. I don't know what it is about Mozart, but absolutely a genius, considering when he wrote that music and the effects that it actually has on our brains is absolutely amazing. So check out Mozart. Mozart Effect. It's a good book. I'll have to put the link up there as well if you're so in tune to read it. It's a little technical, but it's pretty cool. So that's really kind of it on meditation that I have to say this evening, because I think that we're totally out of time. I know that sometimes I feel like I'm all over the place when I talk, which I try to be as organized as I can in my discussions. Hopefully this gives you at least basics about meditation, and I hope it encourages you to try it, to add it to your life, to add it to every day for your mental health, your soul health, and your physical health. Meditation is amazing. It's wonderful. There's so many great benefits to it, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, I do it. I would say I do it at least, I'd say 4 times a week, and it's just for 15 minutes, and it's good stuff. It's definitely good for you, healthy in every single way. So that's meditation this evening. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Sandra. I see Helene, you popped on as well. I hope things are down south okay. We're about to get a blizzard. So I am going to go. I'm going to get ready. I got some things that I got left to do. We're going to be getting snow this evening, and hopefully it won't be too bad because I don't like shoveling. So I will see you next week. Don't forget, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, make sure you go to our website, www.womenshealthonthego.com, and subscribe to our newsletter. You get a great ebook about how to take care of your boobs and vagina. And also there's a special discount code in there for if you're a new patient and it's your first appointment. So have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. Be safe tomorrow if you're up in this area. Stay home, stay snuggled, and we'll see you next week. If you have an idea of what you would like to talk about, I don't have a subject yet for next week, but if you have an idea, please write it here. Email me, reach out to me on Facebook, whatever way you want to reach out to me. I'm always up for ideas, and thank you so, so much for watching. And remember, women's health matters, our bodies matter, so let's make sure that we take care of ourselves. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night. Bye-bye.